So I'm going to do something similar to my Better Call Saul ranking, because since No Way Home is coming out in, like a month. Anyways, since it's merging all the movies together, I'm going to give my thoughts on them before this movie could obliterate this whole saga.
No pressure, right?
Spider-Man 1 is probably the most basic out of all the other movies on this list, but it still is important because it's the first Spider-Man movie, introducing the character to a wider audience than ever before, even if it is pretty dated. Maybe my problem with Far From Home is I don't really know what the movie was going for. From what I understand, it was about Peter's mourning Iron Man's death, but it's not really that. He just wants to do MJ out of nowhere, when it was never established in Homecoming or Endgame they had any interest. Mysterio is a good villain, even if it was just another guy who hates Tony Stark, when it doesn't really make sense because he's not really opposing any of what this movie is trying to say about Iron Man that Homecoming didn't already cover. He's just mad because he called his invention barf. Yeah, okay, great. But it was still entertaining, funny, and overall, a fun movie.
I'll provide a bed.
The Amazing Spider-Man 2 wasn't clear at all on what the theme or plot was. In fact, there really isn't one. The closest thing I could think of, it's about moving on from the past, and also Electro's obsession with Spider-Man betraying him in the past, but it's still pretty muddled. I love the look of the movie though.
Knock, knock. Mr. Criminal.
You had this coming when you jumped in the vehicle that took you to Fabland.
Like, what's up, danger? Like, what's up, danger?
This movie just wasn't as memorable for me as it was for most people. I guess maybe because I've seen this storyline elsewhere before, but the highlight was definitely Miles. He definitely is the best interpretation of the character, especially since every major version of him is wildly different from each other. And the way it plays off the tropes of Spider-Man is my favorite part of it. The kind of storyline you may have never seen on screen before, so I think this is important because of that.
You tried so hard to be someone that you forgot who you are.
I only just rewatched this recently, and an aspect I love, besides the corniness, is how difficult this movie is on Peter, and how sucky his life is. Although I feel the movie doesn't follow its own message. For example, Peter is trying to balance being Spider-Man and managing his relationship with MJ. After giving up on being Spider-Man and things still don't go his way, he learns.
To do what's right, we have to be steady and give up the thing we want the most, even our dreams.
Then at the end of the movie, he gets MJ and everything is great. Maybe it should have been a more solemn ending and have him accept who he is, but I guess that's what Spider-Man 3 is for.
Now dig on this.
Although this movie had a little too much studio interference, like most of these movies, it still was solid and entertaining, and has the best scenes and memes in the trilogy. Maybe I like it more ironically than sincerely, but still. But God, the backlash when this came out was insane. Really, what was the issue here? Too many villains? Okay. And that's why I have no trouble saying,
I like it.
Spider-Man 3.
It makes me happy.
this is the first Tom Holland film. And yeah, it's great, well-paced, and also has Hannibal Buress. What else could you want? It leans really hard into the high school aspect, and that's my favorite part about it. He does it more for the thrill, and him slowly learning the responsibility of it all is really down to earth. And I really don't get the criticism that this one isn't responsible. Like, okay, he has a few gadgets, don't think that takes much from his character. The Amazing Spider-Man feels like a coming-of-age movie, since this was made by an indie filmmaker, which was the perfect choice, by the way. Andrew Garfield is also the most relatable, besides him being, well, Andrew Garfield. He is the quiet guy in the back of the class, and that really makes him feel like the kind of guy who would beat up homeless people in an alleyway. It turns him from an anti-hero into an actual superhero, and the transition is completely gradual, just like it would be in real life. The studio cuts really took away from what this movie could have been. Maybe I shouldn't put it on number 1 because of that, but I appreciate what it was trying to be. Yup, that's it. Very short, like usual. And yeah, I do realize most of these movies doesn't follow what most other people would list, so sorry for not making Into the Spider-Verse or Spider-Man 2 number 1. Maybe cry a little, piss your pants, I don't know. Anyways, love ya.